Hey guys, MotoViking82 here, back with more of my CD collection. Before I get started though, I know some people are probably going to see some of the stuff that I show and think, well, your collection of that band is incomplete, or why don't you have this, or why don't you have that? There's going to be one of several reasons for that. Either one, their shit is really hard to find, especially where I live, and even online, maybe I'm not finding it for a really good price. Could be that they're back there with all the other stuff that I've got to listen to yet, give really a good thorough listen to and file away. Because I'm not the type that just, rips it to their hard drive to listen to later and then files it away, or I just spin it once, twice, and then, okay, I'm done, and put it up. No, it's usually I give something a good handful of listens just to make sure I'm really, really can make an opinion on the album, and then I'll file it away. And it could also be maybe that's the only album or albums that I enjoy from that band. There's just some bands that they've only released one album that I think is worth owning, or maybe they've only released a handful that I think is worth owning. But yeah, anyway, so to get started on this part of it, I'm going to start off with Theater of Tragedy and Velvet Darkness, They Fear. I really enjoy this album. Theater of Tragedy were one of the first kind of gothic-y doom death bands that I had heard about, and I found that one really cheap, and then I thought this could have been one of their early albums, but I think it's like their third or fourth or something like that. I don't really remember, but this is Aegis, and I've heard that starting with this album, they kind of started to change their sound just a little bit, so I really haven't delved too much into their material to really discover any real differences yet. Next is Synergy with Beware the Heavens. This is the Metal Mind reissue. I got number 366. And I really do enjoy Synergy. I know a lot of people really don't really like this band for whatever reason, but I think, Kimberly Goss is a pretty good vocalist. She used to post on the same music forum that I did a long time ago, and we actually chatted a little bit on MSN Messenger. But, nothing real super special, so I can't really say, I'm friends with Kimberly Goss or anything like that. But, yeah, she was a really cool person to talk to, though. Then here's To Hell and Back. And the last album that they released, Suicide by My Side, which many consider to be their best one. Yeah. Then we have Misery with Mystic. I got this really cheap. I forget whether it was from Hell's Headbangers or something like that. I got it in a sale. Really cheap. It's pretty good kind of doom death. Mortuary Oath, Once Upon a Dreary. Really, really good album. I'd love to find the other album that this band has put out, but it seems like it's damn near impossible. Then we have the Astro Sleep by Tiamat. And this one, I never could figure out how to pronounce the name. I think it's like Gules. This is Celestial Powers. Hold on a second. Celestial Powers Intervene to True Supremacy. This is a very different kind of album. This one is one of those ones that I found for like $1 at one of those half-price books outlet stores, and it's kind of like blackened industrial, I guess you can call it, or it's kind of like it's very hard to describe. It's kind of like newer Mortis, where it's kind of got like that electronics feel, but it's all black metal. There's no real vocals or anything. It's all instrumental. It's very, very hard to describe. If you can find any of it on YouTube, I would suggest checking it out. It's very interesting to listen to. Next is Rampage with Monolith to an Abandoned Past. And This End Up. And Bellum Infinitum. Another one that I got for $1 at the outlet store, The Red Death with Godmakers. Very dark cover. Sorry, you can't really see that. We have the only DSRA album that I have so far. I really want to get the rest of their stuff, but this is Immolated. I got this mostly because of Novi and Doc from Vader being in this band, and I really enjoyed the stuff that I've heard from them. I just haven't been able to get much of their stuff lately. We have As They Burn, Eon's War. Really good deathcore band in my opinion, though they've broken up just within the last year, I believe. This is Will Love Life. We have a classic here, Ripping Corpse, Dreaming with the Dead. Nehemia, The Asphyxiation Process. Pretty decent melodic death metal. I bought that from a friend's flea market booth when he still had that. Capernaum, Fractured. This is the only album that this band put out. It's kind of a melodic death metal featuring Matt Heffy from Trivium on vocals. That was the main reason I checked this out, is because I'm a big fan of Matt Heffy and Trivium, and when I figured he was going to be in a death metal band, or he was, I should say, I had to check it out. It's pretty good. I like it. So I'm also really interested in hearing any material comes from this black metal project he's supposed to be doing with Isan. Then we have Flesh Ties, Here Among Thorns. I found this at, I believe it was JL Records the last time I was there. And I just remembered the title track off of Here Among Thorns. This was on a compilation CDR a friend of mine made for me years ago. And I just remember I loved that song. I always wanted to get the album, but I could never remember the damn name when I would be out shopping for it. And I found this, and I saw it said Here Among Thorns. I looked, and there was the song. I was like, gotta buy it. And I know many are going to say my collection for this next band is really lacking, at least the one after this one. But got Hellhammer, Apocalyptic Raids, and the Demon Entrails collection, and that lovely shitty digipack that they have. But luckily I was able to cut the those little white sleeves that I showed in one of my last videos to fit this. So yeah, at least now I can make sure the discs aren't scratched enough. And yes, this next band, the collection is really lacking in this, and I apologize. But Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. And then we have Two Megatherion, and Into the Pandemonium. Only Celtic Frost albums that I own, though I really feel bad for that now because I do love Celtic Frost. But then we have hopefully I'm going to pronounce it, Vinificum with Dysphoria, and Enigma Prognosis. Really cool, kind of almost Dimmu Borgir-esque black metal. Then I really love this band. I really need to complete my collection on them. I just absolutely love them. Siebenbergen with Delictum. And Plagued Be Thy Angel, which was the first album I ever heard from them. And I absolutely love this band. I know a lot of them give them crap, but I thought they were really good. And then Darker Designs and Images, the last one that I own from them. Like I said, I really need to try to find their other stuff. Next is Embers and Revelations by Weapon. Fucking awesome, awesome band. And now we have some examples of Christian black metal. I'm not big on, kind of Christian themed bands. I know it might seem hypocritical where I listen to a lot of blasphemous stuff or whatever, but I don't want to listen to the Christian bands. But there are a few that I do enjoy that to me just don't seem very preachy in their lyrics. I can't really stand the whole preachy stuff. I don't know. Call me a hypocrite if you will, but yeah. I do enjoy some of them. This is A Hill to Die Upon with Infinite, Titanic, Immortal. This is a really, really good album in my opinion, and probably the only one I'm going to get from them. It's the only one that I really enjoyed when I actually checked them out on YouTube, but yeah, pretty solid band, I think. Then we have Horde with Heilig Ostfart. Again, Metal Mind, Digipack reissue, number 361. Next is, why they gotta have such hard pronouncing? Eusinig Tumult with Voices of the Winds. This is a male-female combo black metal band. Really, really good stuff, I think. And this one I fucking love. I love this album. It's got one of the most badass covers I have seen. This is a Winter Soul with Frozen Storm Apocalypse. This, yeah. If you want to find a really good, black metal, Christian black metal band, check this album out. Fucking amazing, in my opinion. And next we have Devion with Nine Winged Serpent. Ugh. Next stack. Old Funeral, The Older Ones. And the collection that just came out not long ago, Our Condolences, 1988 to 1992. If you don't know who Old Funeral is, basically they're kind of an old... They kind of played, I think, a little bit of death metal, then black metal, but you have people like Abbott, Demonaz, Varg Vikernes was in this band at one point. So, yeah, definitely worth checking out. Immortal, Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. Don't really need any explanation for this band, really. Pure Holocaust. Battles in the North. Blizzard Beasts. At the Heart of Winter. I love that cover. And it's the very first album that Immortal ever put out where the band members didn't appear on the cover. Damned in Black. I enjoy this album. I know a lot of people don't. Don't know why. Sons of Northern Darkness. And seemingly their last album, All Shall Fall. Really good stuff. Classic band. Check them out if you haven't. Which, if you haven't already, what the fuck is wrong with you? Next we have Ulver. With, an album title that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. And then we also have, again, not even going to try to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it. And I know I will. Samael, Blood Ritual. And Ceremony of Opposites with the Rebellion EP attached to it. This is actually, again, a 2-on-1, which I really, really don't care for. But luckily, I was able to flip the booklet around, so I have the Ceremony of Opposites cover showing instead of a thing that has the two covers split up. I hate that. Next, we have The Abyss with The Other Side. And Summon the Beast. I used to have this on a 2-on-1, but I was lucky enough that I found The Other Side used in I think it was a half-price books. And then I was able to find a seller online that had this really cheap, and it was in really good shape. So I'm glad to have originals of all that. Because if I can, I try to get originals of everything. I hate these 2-on-1s, but if I have to settle for one until I can get originals, I'll deal with it. Tidfall, Instinct to Gate, and Nucleus. Really good. I don't want to say symphonic black metal, but they do use a lot of keyboards and that in their sound. I know that'll, shy a lot of people away from them. I've just got one more album of theirs to get, I do believe, and then I'll have all their stuff. Amsvartner, The Trollish Mirror. I can remember seeing this in a CD store that I used to go to all the time that had shut down, and I always wanted to get it, and I never did, and I eventually found it somewhere else and for really cheap, and I picked it up. This is a Dark Moon, Vengeance for Withered Hearts. Moss of Moonlight, Seed. I still need to get their Winter Wheel EP, if that's even possible. This is a three-way split that I picked up from a friend of mine who's actually in one of these bands. This is Dead to Earth, Volkheim and Idvarp. Really cool stuff. My friend was actually in Idvarp, and he's the one that told me about this, and I actually ended up buying it off him. Next is Battle Lust of Battle and Ancient Warcraft. I picked this up after I saw Luke Hammerhart show this in one of his videos one time, and I checked it out, and I thought it sounded really good, so I had to pick it up. This one I had a CDR of for a long time, and I finally got around to picking it up. Cyclone B, Blood Must Be Shed. Really classic, in my opinion, black metal EP. Then we have Thou Shalt Suffer, Into the Woods of Belial. This features Isan and Samuth from Emperor. This is kind of like their little project they did at one point that really didn't go very many places. But Thanathron, self-titled, got this really cheap. I think it was like in the $3 sale for Hell's Headbangers. Decent Polish black metal. Then we got Judas Iscariot, The Dying Light. And Heaven in Flames. Dethroned, Conquered, and Forgotten. Getting down to the last few here. Vlad Tepes, War Funeral March. Then we have Moonblood with Blut und Krieg. And finally, we have the last Moonblood that I have, though I really need to get more. Dusk Volrot and Taste Our German Steel. So yeah, that'll do it for this particular part of my collection. Got plenty more to come. So until then, thanks a lot for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.